really prize myself. I've accomplished a lot in life, right? Like, you go to college, you get a job, you get your dream job. And I had my dream job. I made a lot of money. And I want to find love so bad, and my job wouldn't let me. So I actually quit my job to be here.
All right, we're back to the North position with Hannah. And she could not be a more straightforward, blunt, direct, as she says many times, North. Now, she is paired with Nick, who is a West. And this, in my opinion, just wasn't going to work because he's not the kind of partner that she needs. And she knew that. And, but the other person that she was also trying to connect with was Leo. And Leo was also West. So had she found a South that was able to, the opposite of her, that would have been able to stand up to her and kind of direct while she directed, she might have found a partner, but she clearly did not. Now, she's the kind of North, unlike Jessica from the first season or Shayna from the second season, that learned to get that camaraderie with all the girls instead of for being the villain. So even though she was kind of reprimanded, or she was looked down upon, or kind of called out on her approach, she at least recognizes that she needed to create that friendship within the girls section anyway. So let's follow along with Hannah on her North story.
Like, amazing, hilarious, like the greatest girl ever.
So North, she kind of likes herself, and she's just basically saying, yeah, I'm the greatest girl ever.
My favorite thing in the world is first experiences, new experiences.
Love it.
I love, like, Europe, love it. Like, I want to do, like, if we're going to Costa Rica, I want to go rock climbing, I want to go to the volcanoes.
So Norse love new ideas, new experiences, new adventures, and this is exactly what she's up for. And with Leo, who's a West, he has his idea of how to look at it. Like, he wants to kind of direct it and do it his way. And it's going to be a very different approach than Hannah. So this couple would not have made it either.
I know a lot about a lot of things, I think.
So just like Taylor, she thinks she knows a lot about a lot of things. This is hilarious.
The problem, I don't know what it is. There's like this like gut feeling, and I can't like figure it out.
So the gut feeling that she's not able to like quite put her finger on is the fact that he's West and he can't decide. And she's a very decisive person. And she just doesn't, he's a slick talker in a way that West think that they're kind of covert and that they're kind of sneaky.
For our lives together, I'm just not sure. And I have to be sure.
So what she's picking up on here is that he's not deciding. But what's interesting is because she doesn't want to lose out, she ends up going back to Nick. And because there wasn't any other options, apparently.
And I want someone that's like 100% sure about me,
So again, this is the Norse seeking that certainty that they want, she's trying to get from him. And I don't blame her because
like, that is not me. I literally haven't cried in probably like 10 years. Like, I don't cry.
So this is funny. Norths have a tendency not to be very emotional. We don't cry. I'm a North, and I don't really necessarily cry at movies, unless it's about a dog, of course. So she hasn't cried in like 10 years. This is a clue.
And I don't care what anybody says or how anybody feels, like, I love him.
Okay, so this is interesting. This is the North justifying their decision because now she's made a decision and now she loves him. And Norse will compromise to get their idea, moving. And so now it's her idea that she's decided on Nick and she loves him.
Thank you.
Give me a hug. Come here.
Okay, so she's been duped by the West and you can just see it in her eyes. She's like, you are not what you said you were.
Like, fuck that. I was like, woman empowerment. If I'm a tall bitch, I'm going to rock it.
There you go.
So now she's on the show and she's just going to have to deal with Nick. And she's going to deal with Nick by putting him in his place and she's going to rock it.
In the reveal, it was shocking. He, like, built himself in a way that was, like, different than maybe what he is. Like,
so again, the black and white honest truth, he did not tell, and it was shocking. Like literally, I think everybody that was listening to Nick was saying, dude, what are you setting yourself up for? By not telling the truth, the reality. So this is fascinating.
Come on.
Nick, no. Nick is an idiot. I'm sorry.
So Nick is trying to be clever, charming, and funny. And for a North like her, he's just not. And he's already put himself in a hole because he misrepresented himself. And so for a North, she's like, I don't like this guy. He's an idiot. But I'm going to have to go through with this as much as I possibly can and fake it pretty much.
Was that hot?
Told you he was going to give me the ick, man.
That's fine. You still love me.
So she's got the ick, and she's had the ick since she met him, and now she's just kind of having to deal with him. And he's like, fine, you still love me. And she's like, no, I don't.
Yeah,
What was the last bullet point? Like, delusional.
Yeah.
You think I'm delusional?
Okay, and the manipulation has now begun. And she's calling him out on what she really thinks of him. And then she gives him the North stare, the North look like, yeah, stupid.
I'm younger than you. I'm more mature than you.
You think you're more mature than me?
Yeah.
I mean, let's just face it, Hannah's definitely on a different level than him as far as her maturity and her where she's gone in life already. And he's still living with his parents and they're still paying his bills. So she's like, what the heck? Yeah, I'm more mature than you.
I'm so independent. It's my way or the highway.
Well, that's gonna take some adjusting.
Yeah.
So she's already like, yeah, it's going to be my way or the highway, and I'm not going to be with you, but you know what? I'll play along. And she's like, yeah, I'm not going to adjust to that.
So if that happens, just give you some time and space.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then a kiss after an hour. Nick, why are you ignoring me after an hour? The 3.
So this poor guy has no idea how to navigate this, and she's just pushing and pushing and pushing and interrogating and antagonizing. So this is the North antagonizing, that she's just kind of like, I'll try, but this is not going to work.
You should be able to do that. Like, I don't want to have to tell you every time. Like,
I do take out the trash.
yeah, you do, but I feel like today I had to ask, and yesterday I had to ask.
So this is where the North is, they like to lead, they like to demand, they like to be upfront, but they don't necessarily always want to have to tell people what to do. Like, take some leadership. And she's saying, I don't want to always have to do this. Like, well, I did do that. She's like, no, you didn't.
I'm not a play it by ear type of person. Because
Norse are not usually play it by ear kind of people. She wants to know the task up front, who's doing what. Like, let's figure this out. It's going to be black and white, clear as day for me. Otherwise, forget about it.
who's paying the bills? Are you paying the bills or am I paying the bills?
What do you think?
So this is one of those situations where she's like, okay, am I paying the bills? Are you paying the bills? And she needs somebody like a really good solid South to step up and lead in some ways in life. She'll take her role, but she needs somebody else to take the role. And Nick's like, well, what do you think? She's like, oh God, really? This guy?
Bill, your parents pay your phone bill. What's your plan with that?
I mean, eventually, like in the next year or two, I'll probably start paying for it. But as long as they want to pay for my phone bill,
So I'll keep the phone bill for me.
Yeah. Why you look at me?
Okay, who at this age is having their parents pay for their phone bill and is okay with it? And she's looking at him in disgust, like, really, dude? Like, you're not going to step up? Wow. So the screws are starting to come down on Nick. Rightfully so.
I like things the way I like things, and everyone else just can't do it as good as me, which I know is wrong because like people do their thing that they want to do, and you do dishes a certain way, or if you do the bed a certain way, that's how you do it, and that's okay. Maybe it's not the way I like it, but like it's different.
Okay, Hannah just gives us north clues left and right as we go on here because she's getting more and more frustrated with Nick. And she's like, you know, I like the things the way I like it. It might not be may not be always right, but it is. Like, she recognizes that she likes things the way she likes them, and she needs someone else to step up and say the same thing in a different way than she does. And Nick's not going to be that guy.
Do. And when I fill this up with water, you think like 3/4? Or like halfway? Halfway, right?
Okay, this is one of those moments where North was like, if it's going to be done right, I might as well just do it myself. Ugh.
Is exactly what's on her mind, and she's not scared of, like, I want someone who's going to put me in my place and kind of tell me what's up.
So this is funny. Nick likes it that she speaks her mind and says exactly what's on her mind, but at this end he kind of wants to be put in his place. But what he doesn't understand is that dynamic between the West and the North is probably just going to be a little too harsh for him. He'd be way better off with an East that will, but in a completely different way, a more sensitive way than a North would.
Joke.
It was a fucking joke.
Well, I don't think you know how to joke then.
Maybe that's something we both got to work on.
So this is classic for North. They can be harsh on other people, but when other people are harsh or funny in a way, then it is taken the wrong way. So North have a really hard time with sarcasm because they think everything is the truth. Still, this is funny. He's like, well, you know, you don't know how to tell jokes either.
You don't think I'm funny?
Yeah, you're hilarious.
Oh my gosh. So this is one of those moments where you hear the people that are around the North, Hannah, and she's like, what? I'm not funny? And her brother's like, no, you're harsh and you think you're funny.
He grew on me.
Yeah, he did. Dad did
I'm
too.
still growing on your mom.
That's how it works, right?
I told her I'm still not sure, and it's been a lot of years.
Yeah.
So this is funny because the mom is North and the dad is South. And the mom's even like, yeah, your dad's still growing on me. I don't know what to do with him.
It's a job in itself.
Yeah, it's work.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
So, and just this little bit of a clue from the dad, you know, it's a job and it's hard and it's work. And that's just the mentality of the South.
You know, whatever she says goes.
We know.
Again, so the dad, Nick says, whatever she says goes. And the dad's like, yeah, we know. I know. We all know.
Just because I'm so perfect, it's hard for him to come up with things.
Are you being serious?
Oh my gosh, Hannah is so self-righteous. It's funny, but it's not funny. Like her mom's like, are you being serious? And Hannah's kind of like, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty perfect.
You got to overlook some stuff.
You got to decide what
You know,
you
what
can live
what
with
is
and what
worth
you can't. Yeah.
what is worth really nitpicking or
Like-
what isn't.
So this is funny because this is the South dad's his mentality is tolerating, and basically he's like, you got to pick your battles, and for him he probably picks none. He just tolerates.
Let things go.
Chewing, like chomping. I can't stand it. So Dad knows to eat in the closet.
So this is the North mom, like, you know what, I can't stand chomping. And the dad, like, knows the wrath is going to come out. So he just literally probably goes eats in the closet or in the corner or on his own side of the table.
Who do you think did better?
I would say you, but I learned. You showed me the way.
Your icks are starting to become just funny to me.
So this is funny because North Hannah thinks she's pretty much good at everything, and she probably is good in a lot of things. But in this particular situation, she's like, "Yeah, you still maybe your icks are starting to grow on me a little bit."
An active listener, an active partner. I don't want to have to always have to be the first one to start a deep conversation.
So this is an interesting clue with North is like, we like it when people step up, but only at certain times. She's like, I don't want to always be the one that's leading this. And that is the dilemma with North. I'm a North, so we always are directing traffic, but at the same time, it'd be nice occasionally if someone would help. Here's the rub, though. People get so afraid to actually bring up anything that they won't. That's the problem with always being so black and white, is that you scare the heck out of people.
I think it's all about initiative.
So obviously Hannah has taken a lot of a lot of initiative in her life, and she wants a partner that is the same. Now, she's never going to get another North partner that she could deal with, but she needs a good South partner that has some initiative, that has some drive, that it's a real, that really likes to work like she does.
Proposal is, no, you didn't say I was stupid, but like, you're like, come on, Nick, like, you should know this. Sometimes I feel like, you do think I'm
stupid. He didn't say it, but she said it without saying it, and he felt it. She thinks he's stupid.
Maybe sometimes like a level below you, you know what I mean? I just want to be treated as an equal.
I think you get treated like an equal when you start contributing like an equal.
I mean, she's right. And this match is not good because Nick's at a completely different level or place in his life than Hannah is. And so she's like, well, when you start acting like you deserve some respect, then I'll give you some respect. And he's like, oh.
He's great to me, and I love Nick. He's hard for me, but I think like I could be the best thing in the world for Nick just because like there's so many things that you could show him. Yeah.
Oh, this is too funny. So you have two Norths here, Ashley and Hannah. And Hannah's like, yeah, I could be the best thing for him. Like I could be kind of like his, his savior, or show him all these amazing things. But that kind of relationship, that kind of interaction, that kind of way to lead as a North is not satisfying, and it's not going to work. Not at all.
Were you guys talking about how fucking fabulous I am, or were you fucking talking about your past relationships?
Mature enough at this age?
Are you mature enough, Nick? Because I taught you fucking everything that you fucking know. I turned into a boy into a fucking man.
Okay, so here we go with the North that pretty much thinks she knows everything, and she's built him in from a boy into a man, and he's like, what are you talking about? But the truth is she hasn't. He's still pretty immature.
I know that a fault sometimes is that I am a little bit too direct, and sometimes it can come off as like malicious or rude, but like when you know me, you know that's actually coming from the most kind place of heart.
It hurts sometimes.
The truth does hurt.
Everyone wants like
I'm a truth teller, baby.
So Norths think that the honest, brutal truth is the only truth there is. And they're doing you a favor by telling that to you. And she knows that she can be sometimes harsh, but she's like, hey, sometimes the truth hurts, right?
I think the only thing I question if like you're ready to like be able to like fully commit to me, to like marry me and be like the husband that like I deserve. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, so she's just putting it out there like, you just don't deserve me. And at the end, I mean, that is the North stare of North stares. Like, yeah, I'm so done with you.
Delusional. Social awareness.
Maturity, confidence versus something.
Maturity and confidence versus ego. Those 5 concerns that I have are still there.
So Hannah's had enough, and he's going to get grilled. And he's going to get the honest truth. And to her. Now, remember, for her, this is a completely different perspective. North is a completely different perspective than West. And he's sensitive, and he's not used to telling people how he feels. And so he knows that this is just going to be a grilling session.
Ego versus confidence. I feel like I need to stroke your ego for you to be happy. And I feel like you extremely say that you're a confident person and I make you unconfident when I think it's just ego. And it's delusion. It's just like you just can't see how I feel.
So she's right. He just absolutely cannot see how she feels. And she's kind of like, I have to stroke you to get your ego. Like I have to basically do everything and you're acting like a baby, and she does not like it.
I don't understand you. I don't get it. For instance, like the Katie situation, for example, because I can use specific examples. I don't know if you can, but I can.
She doesn't get him. She expects everybody to be like her, like we all do. And we don't understand that there's these 3 other positions that see life from a completely different perspective. And she's like, I can come up with examples. I know you can't, but I can.
Trying, and I have been trying, and I have been trying, and I have been trying because like I love you and I want this so freaking bad. It's just like, when do I take off the rose-colored glasses and just like see this for what it is?
So Norths are pushers, and when she's saying, I've been trying, it's like she has in her mind. She thinks that just trying to keep pushing and keep expecting more of him is going to get more from him that she wants, but it won't necessarily. And, you know, she's like, I can't deal with this. I got to take off my rose-colored glasses. And he's like, you do not have rose-colored glasses on.
I think sometimes you have to be real and you have to be honest, and I'm so real and honest. Right now, you know that this is not going to work.
So this is funny because she is so real and honest, and what she should have said is, I know this is not going to work. Instead, she tries to push it off on him. But what she really should have said, if she was really brutally honest, like, this is not going to work. I don't like you.
Duck that day?
No.
No? Still no.
I'm not getting that thing.
So
the mind frame of a North is just that, black and white. It's like, no, I'm not writing that stupid thing. That's dumb.
And looking back now and watching it, you were very direct. And I just wanted to know if, looking back now in hindsight, do you think, I'm glad I did that and, you know, we didn't end up working out? Or were you thinking, maybe I was a little too direct?
So this is what's interesting about these 4 positions, is that we show up in life naturally like this. So yes, I think Hannah knows that she was direct, but she's not going to change. She can modulate herself. She can like be more aware of herself, but she is absolutely North. And there's a good reason for that. And that this all happens in a cycle and sequence, North, East, South, and West. And that's just the way she is. So these kind of statements bother me because yes, she could have been more kind, but what she was dealing with and what you'll see is that he was being sneaky. He was being not truthful. He was not being upfront. And that's what triggered a lot of what the way Hannah handled things.
Yeah, I think my personality is I'm very to the point, I'm very direct. That's just who I am. I'm very blunt. And sometimes my delivery does not come out how I think it's coming out. I think I'm just like telling you exactly how it is, but really I just sound like a bitch. You know what I mean? So I just have to be a little bit careful. And
so she's right. I mean, sometimes when a North says something and they can come out sounding like a bitch, and we don't know it. Like, we don't understand that that's really how we're coming off. And for each position, it's taken differently. So, I mean, she's being very honest about this. And what's so funny is that Vanessa is a North, and I'm sure Nick is back there going, oh yeah, I know what that's like.
the things that I said were all true, but it's just the way that you say it.
So what's funny is she's not going to apologize about it, because Norse won't necessarily apologize. She's just saying, yeah, it was true. I could have said it differently, but it was true.
But that's inherently who I am, and like, I am direct. I just need to work on how direct I am. But yeah, I'm just direct, okay? I'm a bitch sometimes. I get it. I know.
So now she said it over and over again. And what's funny about a North is sometimes is that they kind of just keep repeating the same thing that they know. And the poor kid just doesn't know what to do here and navigate this. And she's kind of feeling bad. It's kind of sad, actually.
And do you feel like you're loving this version of Hannah who sits here today?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I think I do. Yeah.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. I just feel awkward right now, like I'm going to cry. I don't know why.
So this is funny because the North is putting on a front of certainty and assuredness and a little bit of pride. But you can see, and I've been around Norths like this, where as soon as they start cracking, it's like, oh God, like it falls apart quickly. And you can see like I kind of feel like I want to cry, but I'm not going to cry here because I don't cry. Yeah, this is just if Hannah started to realize how she navigates life as a Norse, she could start figuring out how to maneuver herself so much better and recognize what she's doing and embrace it and have some fun with it.
Much hate online for just being the type of person she is and being, super transparent. Like, we need more of that, right? And
Okay, so Nick opened his big stupid mouth and he's like, oh, we need more people to be like her. But at the same time, he's betraying her and saying things behind her back. It's such a West move. They just can't understand how to navigate this. So they're just kind of covert and sneaky. And he is covert and sneaky and Weasley.
Why are you liking the hate comments then that people are leaving on your page?
Like what?
And then he tries to deny. And like if he would have just come out and said the truth, then we can all, at least be like, yeah, we all make mistakes. But he tries to deflect, deny, and hide. And it's not attractive.
Meanwhile, like, I hear that he's saying, like, stuff after the video, like, calling me, like, your grenade and calling me ugly. And all these people are saying that he's saying all these things behind my back. But then when he gets on camera, he's like, Hannah's just so amazing. And everything she does is so perfect. And it's like, no, it's not. Like, I'm literally being mean to you. I don't understand what's going on.
Okay, so this is the two sides of the West, where they put on a front in front of people, but behind the scenes, he's being a jackass. And she knows this. And there's, innately, instinctually, intuitively, something's going on and she doesn't understand what. And that's when her survival concern of certainty was being triggered, which is why she behaved the way she did in some ways. When we understand that, we can start to see why we behave the way we do and why we react to people the way we do.
And so I think my frustration was like, what the fuck is going on? I just didn't know what was going on. And then when I found that note, I was just like, oh, okay, like, I see what this is for you. Doesn't mean that, like, maybe he went on for the wrong reasons and he liked me and he wasn't expecting that. Maybe that's what happened, but, like, be so fucking for real. Like,
so then a little bit of, like, negative. Well, how Nick evidently was looking at this is like he wanted to be the most famous person on Love is Blind. And when she saw that note, she's like, oh, so now I see what he was doing. And he was acting, basically. He was a chameleon. He was trying to take on this role, and it did not work out well for him. And, she attacked him. He attacked her. It was just not a good scenario. They're not a good match. They're not compatible. They are North and West. Nick needs to grow up. Let's be honest. And so poor Hannah, although she had her role in it too. Clearly there was things going on behind the scenes, underneath it all, like there always is, because we don't understand these positions and our natural human nature in the game of love. Okay, so that is Hannah in a nutshell. That is North in a nutshell. You could not have gotten a more profound clue, menagerie story about a North. And if you want to know more, if you really want to dive deep into these positions and understand what's going on in your relationships, go to my website, fourcrosslove.com. I've got free cliff notes to my book. I've got all kinds of resources on there. You could also obviously go to Amazon and get my book on Audible, paperback, or ebook. Thank you so much.